Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a screenwriter's rant on Cry Macho from Clint Eastwood. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links in the description. Free on Kindle Unlimited. Thanks to the person who bought or persons who bought Pineys 5 and 6. Book 7 drops soon. And I'll let you know. Got a bunch of signings coming up, so look for that as well on the book tour. The next one's going to be at the end of August. Yeah, end of August. I got a store signing. We're still working out the times. It's definitely going to be on August 28th, but we haven't gotten a time yet. Anyhow, Cry Macho, Joe. Clint Eastwood is back as an old cowboy. I think he should have retired at Gran Torino. It was really a great ending. But he's come back, and I gotta say, he looks a little frail in this movie. You know, in Gran Torino, he looked old, but he was an old guy who could still pull off not looking old. In this, he looks like Joe Biden, man. He is old. And that doesn't mean the movie ain't going to be good. I think the movie will probably be very well written because Clint directed this, and he's just good. I think the movie will be good. The message, though, is he goes. The plot of the movie is he goes down to Mexico. He's a broken cowboy, owes a guy a favor, and he goes down to Mexico to save his kid or his grandkid and get him back across the border. But the kid wants to be macho, and Clint Eastwood is just basically telling him, you know, it's not that big a deal to be macho, basically. So they end up doing cowboy stuff like camping out, and they go to a fight of chickens. You know what it's called. I can't say it because of YouTube probably. And he's into chicken fighting as well. The kid, he's got his own chicken, and then Clint shows him horses and turns him into a cowboy, and at the end, I guess he gets him across the border. I don't know. There's even a love interest for Clint. But I got to tell you, he doesn't sound great. He does not sound good. It doesn't sound strong. And I get it. He is playing to his strengths in that he is playing a frail old guy. But there's a scene where he punches a guy, and I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe it. That all being said, you know, Clint knows how to craft a movie. He always has. September 17th. Produced and directed by Clint Eastwood. I mean, I wish he could live forever. He's such a good movie maker now. Screenplay by Nick Schenk and N. Richard Nash. He is very respectful of his screenwriters. That's why I greatly respect Clint Eastwood as a filmmaker. I don't know if he should have starred in this one. Maybe he had to get it greenlit. You know? Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do in the movie industry to get by. It's based on a novel by N. Richard Nash, and Richard Nash co-wrote the screenplay. So, you know, that's a good sign. That's a respectful sign. I don't see Clint as one of these typical Hollywood guys. I see him as more respectful in that area. But I don't know, man. I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Simply the reputation of Clint Eastwood. His movies are amazing. You know, even if it's not his best, I assume it will be pretty damn good. First act, the broken cowboy. He ruined his career drinking and doing dumb stuff, and you know, he's barely hanging on, and he owes his old friend a favor, and you got to go down to Mexico and smuggle my kid across the thing. And he goes, well, I don't have much of a choice here. I owe you, so I'm going to do it. So he goes down there, and he's an old guy, but he's still got some fire left in him, and he doesn't care. He finds the kid. Kid hates him, of course, and they don't get along, and they got this plan to get across the border, and all goes wrong. They end up in some trouble. They end up hiding out. It takes longer than they can. They come up with a new plan. Clint meets some girl who he charms, and he shows the young ruffian how to be a man, essentially. I hope, and not just to be macho. And then the third act, they get across the border. Maybe Clinton dies, or maybe he survives. I don't know. You know, he's doing. He seems to be doing a lot of that. If you haven't seen Gran Torino, by the way, you should see it. And if you haven't seen Unforgiven, how can you call yourself a movie fan? Quite frankly, it's a, hands down my favorite Western. I mean, Unforgiven is probably the closest thing you'll see to a perfect Western. But Clint Eastwood, this is totally worth it. Based on his reputation alone, I endorse the movie. Even his worst movie will probably be better than most stuff that comes out. And I don't say that because I'm older. I say that because he's really good at what he does. I would say the same thing about a guy like Mel Gibson. I mean, he's got quite a track record. His movies are really, really solid for the most part. Very solid. So cry Macho. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. We are going to go find some dinner, and we'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you check us out on Bitchute and Rumble.